and welcome back to Bookish Theories. In today's video I would like to talk about BTS's Dynamite, focusing on a little breakdown and analysis of the lyrics, the music video and the references to pop culture that they included in the MV. Dynamite is a song that deals with the themes of happiness, joy and confidence that is meant to spread light and positivity in the lives of those who listen to it. Now, in comparison to BTS's latest releases, which heavily relied on the theories of Carl Jung and the Map of the Soul concept, Dynamite is a song that is meant to be more lighthearted and carefree. As BTS themselves have stated, the track could be seen as an expression of the boys' passion for music and dancing that is also meant to highlight their desire to keep on challenging themselves and overcome the sense of helplessness and frustration that overpowered them during these past few months. Much like the majority of us, the boys had to change their lifestyle and find a way to deal with the difficulties that the pandemic has caused. But instead of giving in to negativity, BTS decided to use this opportunity to create a song whose goal is to bring energy and comfort to their listeners. Now, in order to achieve this goal, this time around BTS decided to sing the full song in English as a means to reach a wider audience. And to deliver their positive message even further, the video shows us the boys playing the role of young students who find themselves in different locations where they cannot help but dance as soon as they start singing the song. Now, as we'll see in a second, the video is full of references to Western pop culture that are especially evident in Jungkook and Suga's scenes, but despite all the different callbacks that we can find in both the lyrics and the MV, Dynamite is first and foremost an homage to Michael Jackson and Motown, which is an African-American record label that especially in the 60s played an essential role in the racial integration of the mainstream media. While the sound of the song has been heavily influenced by the funky and disco vibes of the Jackson 5, the choreography is a mix of disco dancing and some of the most iconic moves by Michael Jackson. And this homage is extremely fitting in this context because MJ's ideology and discography heavily advocated a universal message of racial and social equality. If you're familiar with Michael Jackson's music, then you know that MJ believed that music had the power to bring the people together and change the world for the better. And his entire discography reflected this belief in a way that inspired his listeners to take action and change the world themselves. You see, by making music that was inclusive, revolutionary and socially aware, Michael Jackson's goal was to inspire change, bring joy and heal the world. So by paying a tribute to him, BTS further show us that they want to take part in this change because they share the same universal message of love, healing and equality. Much like Boy With Luv, Dynamite is all about appreciating the joy that can be found in the little things and bringing the fire in your metaphorical night. So even if nowadays it's very difficult to have this positive attitude, BTS wants to help you with that by giving you energy and comfort through their music. Now, in the video, this idea is perfectly conveyed by showing the boys vibing to Dynamite from the beginning of the day all the way through the night. So the song begins with Jungkook getting ready in the morning and starting his day dancing to Dynamite after drinking a glass of milk. Now, right off the bat, these visuals are very telling because him having a milk mustache is actually a reference to the Got Milk campaign that was especially popular back in the 90s. But this is only one of the many pop culture references that can be found throughout the song, because in JK's scene alone, we see a lot of callbacks that perfectly fit the retro concept. As he dances around wearing double denim and Timberlands, which in and of itself is an outfit inspired by the late 80s and early 90s, in the background we can see posters of Nirvana, AC/DC, David Bowie, Queen and the Beatles, which are all legendary artists that much like them changed the music industry to the point of no return. The callbacks to pop culture, however, also dive into other media as well, because if in the back we can see a Simpsons sticker and right on the side we can see a poster from the Terminator, in the lyrics JK also mentions King Kong, which is a movie monster that gained major popularity especially in the 60s and the 70s. In the song, JK encourages you to be strong like King Kong and roll on like a rolling stone. And this line is not only meant to motivate you to keep going and stay positive, but it's also a reference that recalls both the band Rolling Stones and the song Like a Rolling Stone, which is a track by Bob Dylan that first came out in 1965. Moving on to more recent callbacks, the next line actually encourages the audience to jump up like LeBron. And this is an obvious reference to LeBron James, which is a legend of the NBA that first rose to notoriety in the late 2000s. Now, the callback to LeBron here is a very interesting one because, strictly speaking, it doesn't really fit the retro concept unless we put him together with Suga's Scene, which actually shows Yoongi playing basketball and wearing a Toon Squad jersey from Space Jam, which is an iconic movie starring Michael Jordan and the Looney Tunes that first came out in 1996. Now, the references to LeBron and Space Jam here are not only connected because they are both about basketball, but also because next year LeBron will actually star in the sequel of Space Jam. And even if this is just a speculation on my part, this reference could be foreshadowing that BTS might actually sing the soundtrack for the upcoming movie. For now, this is just a theory, of course, but whether this will turn out to be true or not, the reference to LeBron is also fitting with the overall theme of the song, which is to find confidence in yourself and find the strength you need to glow up like the diamond that you are. In the video, the dynamite day that you are spending with BTS continues at the record store with RM and at the donut shop with J-Hope. And the more we move around, the happier the song gets, because when you shine through the city with a little funk and soul, you light up like dynamite thanks to the music that is bringing you joy. As we see in the video, however, happiness should also be enjoyed with other people, so even if most of us are still social distancing, the boys are encouraging you to connect with others through the power of music. In his verse, V wants you to spread their positive message and believe in yourself no matter what people say. And this concept is expressed yet again through references to pop culture, because in the lyrics, V encourages you to word up and move like we off the wall. Now, word up here is an expression of agreement that became popular back in the 80s after the band Cameo released a song with the same name. But when it comes to Off the Wall, the callback gets a little bit trickier because it can actually be a reference to two different influences. On one hand, Off the Wall could be a callback to the slogan that Vans used since the 70s, which was meant to celebrate the individuality and the creativity of those who wore Vans and that at the time went against the norm. On the other, however, Off the Wall is also a song by Michael Jackson that literally says that life ain't so bad if you leave it off the wall. So this reference basically implies that if you look at the bright side and live life the way you want to, you can find happiness no matter the circumstance. This is the medicine that RM mentions in the lyrics, and the medium through which BTS is literally making it right. So as we enjoy the sunset with Jimin and prepare to go to the disco with Jin, the boys dance around because that's what makes them happy during these difficult times. No matter what happens, they will find a way to spread positivity and share it with ARMY, because this is what their journey is all about. So even if for now everybody's stuck at home, the reference to the airplane implies that their journey continues because music knows no boundaries. If you look closely, the video ends with the boys dancing in a field that looks very similar to the one that we saw back in We Are Bulletproof the Eternal. And this is not a coincidence, because this is a place that represents a dream where BTS and ARMY are together. So the fact that they chose to end the video there implies that as long as people are united through music, we will always be able to find comfort and happiness no matter the distance that keeps us apart. So that's it from me today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please think about liking and subscribing. As always, thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!